we flow so perfectly. Hey, did I talk about Al last time?
Al,
the guy that listens to our podcast?
We have a listener?
Yes, so this is exciting news.
I can tell the viewers, but I can't tell the listener.
It's exciting. No. Oh, no, he's a viewer. He watches us on
I'm used
YouTube.
to looking here, and I have it up here now.
Hello, Al. I was recently informed by my wife that you watch our program. I think your wife told my wife, or you told my wife something. I don't know. Point is, I know that Al watches our program. Why Al watches our program is... Maybe that's what happens when you're retired. You just have nothing better to do
than watch
this. Watch dumb shit like us. But hello, Al. I wanted to send a shout out.
Welcome to Watching Complain.
Say hello to Al first.
Al, I wasn't done. Today, let's just say what we do here is review movies and television and talk about other shit.
Everything we talk about is extremely important, factual,
and no spoilers.
No spoilers, and we never go off topic. I think that's the one thing that our one viewer Al has said. He's glad that we never get derailed and go off talking about stupid shit.
I'm hoping that's sarcasm. I'm hoping he loves that we do that, because that's what we always do.
What's our subject for today, Phil?
Today we're going to talk about the Barbarian. So, but first, I brought you a drink.
And you'll notice, you can't see it.
No, you can't.
Can they see this? No, they won't be able to.
If you keep stacking.
So here I thought I was being super cool. I went out and got like little, midgets is a bad term.
No,
dwarfs is a bad term.
Little cans.
People. Little cans. That's right. Little cans of Rockstar.
Some men prefer little cans, and some men prefer kegs.
I prefer big cans.
Yes, you do. I'm not supposed to drink this, Rob.
It's not my problem.
I'll let you drink it.
All right,
but I appreciate it. I've actually tried it up to about 3 months.
2 little cans.
3 months ago, probably. No, more than that. Probably 6 months ago. 2
little cans. I have a fucking mosquito bite. It's funny too. When you start getting a bunch of tattoos, you start describing your mosquito bites by where they are in your tattoos. So you're like, oh man, I got a mosquito bite right on Wicket's face.
Right on my Yoda.
Right on my Yoda. Right on my
Grogu. Someone who doesn't know will be like, what?
Who's the Star Wars guy that's called Taint?
What I brought you is Beach Day Every Day, which I've never seen around here. I found it in Quebec.
When did you go to Quebec?
A couple weeks ago. Well, last time I went to Ottawa,
and he's been holding
Quebec.
It this whole time.
I have. It's been in the crisper.
Crisper?
How often do people say the crisper?
What the fuck?
That's the vegetable drawer. Oh. It's a crisper.
I thought a crisper... Oh, I'm thinking of an air fryer. Never mind.
That's what you call the air fryer.
Boisson indulgente caffeine.
So, yeah, it's got natural energies. So there you go.
Not recommended for children, pregnant children, or breastfeeding children, and individuals sensitive to pregnant children. Do not mix with alcohol. Usage, 2 containers maximum daily for pregnant, alcoholic, caffeinated children.
So I took the fruit punch.
I'm getting... What the hell is this?
You have 2 to choose from.
I have original, which probably tastes like fucking cat piss.
Usually they do.
And berry bleach. All right, I want berry bleach.
Berry bleach. I would love if they brought out an energy drink line that was just like joking about these things.
Well, you know what? All those stupid
Windex.
Fucks,
it's all
those
blue
assholes
raspberry
that were eating Tide Pods. Who'd be like,
Tide Pods would be a great one. That would be fruit punch.
People fucking eating Tide Pods.
Or orange.
Taste the bleach flavor.
Oh, that's not good.
No, mine's okay. Mine tastes like a Blue Freezy. Don't fucking drink my little can.
I'm taking your little can. Taking it back. Because that I do not like.
I've seen a lot of pornos that start like that. I'm taking your little can. Did you do the berry bleach?
You can have a sip of it. I don't. It's gross.
No, yours ain't berry bleach. Yours is punch ox fruits.
Yeah, it's fruit punch.
Junk.
It's pretty junky.
What an exciting opener.
Thank you, Quebec. It's probably not from Quebec.
Don't thank Quebec. Nobody thanks Quebec. Thank Montreal, but not Quebec.
I'm busy.
Quebec.
It's actually Montreal.
Good. Montreal's a good place. Quebec sucks, but Montreal's great.
Montreal is great. Old port.
Yeah. All the nice churches that
Biodome.
are. I'm not a religious guy, but the nice churches are nice to look at in Montreal.
The
Not to
poutine
mention,
places, La Banquise.
Montreal women are, and to an extent, Quebec, but I'll try not to stay in Quebec because then I start getting more of an air of superiority than I already have. But Montreal, the women are gorgeous. So hats off to whatever you're doing in Montreal. Shouldn't just say your women. I'm sorry,
Squats.
your people. Gorgeous people in Montreal.
Doing squats. So back to our topic.
Barbarian.
Sorry, Alan. Was it Alan?
Al.
Al.
Well, his real name's Alan, but
Oh, I was right.
what the fuck else would it
no
be? I guess
clue.
Alexander.
It must
right?
have been there.
It's probably because you're reading his comments on YouTube saying, I like Rob, but who is the fat person?
So one day, Rob messaged me and said, I really want to go see Barbarian. I've
In
heard
my
good
defense,
things.
Barbarian's trailer is a crock of shit. It's an absolute it's what's the right word? Like snake oil? It lies about what the movie's about. It gives you the impression that it's a very creepy kind of killer movie, almost kind of very wreck oriented, like the movie Wreck.
That it might have a sustainable plot.
It might not have some of the worst day for night shots you've ever seen. And what was funny was I just watched the and this goes into a whole other conversation, but I just watched the Red Letter Media review of Nope. And one thing they talked about that I'd never noticed in Nope, because I was invested in the fucking story, was the day for night shots are really bad. And I'm like, oh yeah, and then when they're showing elements of it, I'm like, oh yeah, they're right.
I haven't rewatched it yet.
This fucking movie is. There were some parts that were fun because they were stupid, but the majority of it was just time wasting. It was so dull. But another thing that's really funny is there's a guy I follow on Instagram called Red Letter Media Fans, and he's just a whole bunch of Red Letter Media fans talk together. And said Jay, who's one of the members of Red Letter Media, would love this. And I was like, he absolutely would, because this movie's a piece of shit. And he's like, really? I loved it. I'm like, some of the worst day for night I've ever seen, an incomprehensible tone. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's serious, sometimes it's scary. Like, it
did
goes
complain about
all
that, yeah.
over the place.
Yeah.
And Justin...
I complained about that from the trailer alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Justin Long sucks. I was happy to see him die.
Oh, you were talking about this movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Barbarian.
I was talking about Nope.
Idiot. But it was just... So, Barbarian is not good. But what is really funny is I'm on Instagram today, and I'm just fucking around, and I see Rotten Tomatoes is like, Barbarian had the best weekend, right? Barbarian was number one, 10 million.
So weird.
And-
so stupid.
And what's funny is a bunch of people are like, oh my God, Barbarian is so good. It reminds me of a movie called Brahmhata. I think it's an Indian movie. A lot of responses to that are like, oh man, you're right. Barbarian is great. Brahmhata is awesome too. Oh dude, Brahmhata is so awesome. Also, Barbarian's great. And I'm like, I'm sensing a pattern that is not regular people. This is people that are like, okay, we got to sell Brahmhata, probably because it's made by some of the same production team as Barbarian. So everybody who says Barbarian's great also sell on Brahmhata. Anybody in other social media platforms or on pages that I don't follow that are saying Brahmhata's great also sell Barbarian. This movie, and then when I'm thinking back to the type of movie that it was, it feels like sell. When I'm thinking of it, it reeked of, okay, let's sell everything we can. And the other thing that makes me feel this way is this movie is woke culture garbage. Like, there's one scene where Justin Long is accused of raping. He's a director, and he's accused of raping, I guess, one of the members of the cast. Mm-hmm. And whole conversation in the car. First, we have to watch him sing a song.
And I was hoping they would play upon the fact that he didn't actually do it.
Yep.
Like, it was one of those people that were like,
Yep.
crying wolf.
Because remember, the movie starts with Barston Skarsgård being in the house, and the girl comes in, and they have the sexism discussion of, if I was here by myself and a man came to the door, no fucking way would I let you in. As a man, you can do that because if you know, say I started acting crazy or something, you could just fucking throw me out. I can't do that to you because you're a man. And I'm like,
it's pretty true though.
it is true. While I disagree with it, I totally see where they're coming from. And I was like, okay, this might be the part of the movie that has some an interesting message to it, right? Maybe has an interesting message to it. And then Justin Long, just totally Max some girl up. Max. And then it comes out that he's at a bar. He calls his friend, and this is where the movie was already
it was already off the rails when he started singing.
I would say when he's singing, the movie for me was riding that 5 out of 10 line. And then as soon as he
You're
calls...
like, where is it going? Where is it going? And then...
As soon as he calls his friends up and he says, hey, derogatory word for a homosexual. And I think you could even feel the theater go, ugh.
Like, you're obviously playing upon this trope, and it's not a fun... Like, it's not... Nope. It's not even... It's not witty.
It's embarrassing. It's one of those scenes where...
Oh, they're gonna say, "Oh, but it's meant to be embarrassing." That's the character.
And that's exactly, and that's why he says, "Dude, like I know she wanted it, dude. It doesn't matter if she was saying no at the start, bro. I know she wanted it, bro."
It's lazy,
and you're like, "Oh," and then you're realizing like, "Oh, they're gonna take that. It's different for a man. It's different for a woman. They're gonna like take it and like it's different when a woman gets accused of rape. It's different when a man gets accused of rape. But they're gonna like do it really stupidly.
Heavy-handed.
Yeah, like, hey, do you get it? Do you know why Justin Long has to die? Do you get it? Why? Do you get it? Also, do you think a man or a woman's gonna kill him? Do you get it? Do you get why the woman has to kill him? Do you get it? You're like, holy fuck, dude.
But not have anything to fill the time with except for boredom. Like there was nothing to like,
right.
Not even boredom. Just like they didn't have a plot. They just had like these people running around a basement of this house kind of thing, and it's just like it didn't really match up to all the pieces. Like, it was almost like a puzzle. It was 10 puzzles.
It was just a series of events. A series of events that just one after the other that had the a fish line going between them of tying them all together. But then Justin Long tells his friend that he raped this girl, calls her up to apologize, then spends the morning.
And it didn't take that much to like pry it out of him.
No,
like alcohol.
Then
and then like
spends the morning barfing, and then discovers a door leading to the basement, and then this. Special door. Oh my goodness, what could be there? Now,
before we get into that, can we just say like I was creeped out, like before the Justin Long stuff started. Like it was creepy.
It does achieve some good atmosphere.
I was thinking we're going into like someone staying in the house, or a ghost, or like that kind of mentality, right? You know, ghosts are real. So
they were in this movie.
I was getting creeped out, and I jumped at like one or two things,
and I laughed at you,
as you do.
The scary scenes were directly stolen from the movie Wreck. That's why I was like, oh yeah,
nothing bothered him.
It's Wreck, but so Justin Long throws up in his toilet, and then has an argument with a realtor, and doesn't have an argument with the realtor. He's looking up online how much square footage. What can you say your basement is square? And you're like,
he got charged with rape and whatever. He's lost his career in acting. He's trying to sell his houses. This is one of his houses. It happens to be the house that all this shit's going on.
Yep.
He wants to now see how much square feet is in this house because he's realized, the more square feet that you can put in the ad, the higher the price can be. Go on.
And how exciting a movie. I mean, I got to tell you guys, I was chomping my nails watching Justin Long research square footage percentages on his computer. And then right when I just couldn't take any more, he breaks out a fucking tape measure.
Yeah.
For 5 goddamn minutes. He is measuring from the distance to here, the distance to here, writing it down, multiplying to figure out the square footage, finding another door. Where does this door go? Doesn't matter. Put down the tape measure all this.
Yeah, didn't care. Money first.
I get that that's his character. He's like a money-driven.
But they were filling time. With
garbage. I could not believe that. Wow, you have this premise that is arguably scary.
A great start.
But then now you got to watch this guy be on his computer and measure shit, and then just go to the same fate that the other people went to.
Whoever originally wrote this,
yeah, I think the writer and director is the same guy.
Had a great start. Had a great first half, maybe 1/3.
I'd say 1/3
of the movie, and then Justin Long came in. That whole part, like going from Justin Long to finding out what's deeper in the house, was just like the part of the movie you just never want to see. You were
totally bored.
It was filler.
Yeah, I could not stand that. Well, it's not that I could not stand it, but I was like, God, this is so boring.
It's like he had a 30-minute short.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, I have to add things.
It's like that terrible Pixels movie. It was a great short, but then when you drag it into a movie, you're just like, fuck, this sucks. But then the end, and I get that he was just like, okay, let's just scare people. All right, we don't need to make any sense, but let's scare people. But it's the underlying horror of what he pretends is going on in this house that the timeline of it makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. So the idea, spoilers for everyone, don't go see Barbarian, it's garbage.
Oh, don't.
There's a guy in the, I'm going to say, late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
Who is kidnapping women, taking them back to that house, impregnating them. They're having,
this wasn't even explained well.
No. Having you had to put it together for yourself. Having the women were having their babies down there.
I think there was like a line that explained the whole movie.
Yep.
And then you were like,
oh my God.
Okay.
You're saying that he brought women down there, then he's having babies with the babies? That's nuts.
And that's exactly how it went.
That's all your explanation. But what I like too is, so then he was fucking the babies of the babies, and then they were getting all like inbred and flipper feet and screwed up brains, right? But the crazy lady witch, the like 8-foot demon from Wreck that shows up, she's supposed to be one of the ladies he was there with.
She's one of the mutations.
That's what the black dude who rescued them said, that she's one of the mutations. I'm like, if it's
it doesn't.
If it's the timeline doesn't add up at all.
It should be like one generation,
and then
like how do you get the mutations for that long?
Show that dude raping chicks and putting them in the basement in like the 1920s.
They implied that this was like generations of like, I had sex with this woman. She had my baby down in this hole, and then I raised this baby and had sex with this baby, and she had and then did the same thing over and over again.
Yep.
So you should have had Barbarian times, maybe start it. Well, that wouldn't make sense for the house. Maybe it's a cave,
right?
Anyway,
exactly. And they built the fucking house.
Hey, look,
around
we've
the
already
cave.
made a better movie.
But then what I like is Justin Long goes into the room and he hears this like huffing and puffing, and it's this old dude who was raping people.
Oh, this was just so lame.
He looks like he's 30 years older
than
he was in the 70s.
You caught the bad guy.
And the guy's like,
he can't talk.
But I'm like, who's taking care? Is the demon lady taking care of him? What's she feeding him? Why is he smoking cigarettes? Where's he getting his water from? Where's he getting his food from? Like,
I think she's just going out
and killing people, and maybe he's feeding him people
and bringing stuff back in.
But
because
why not
they were saying
show
she was
that?
going out.
But why not fucking show that?
I know, like it doesn't make sense.
I just all the stuff that would have lent to, wow, that's kind of creepy. No, fuck it.
Where did the water go out of my freezer? Or that gas station down the road should be like going out of business because it keeps on losing food
and
or beers, whatever it was.
And I understand that okay, for like a horror movie, you've got to have like the house, the horror house, right?
The whorehouse, yes.
The whorehouse, that's right. They've got to have a whorehouse.
It kind of was.
But what's fucked is the houses around them are decrepit. Like they are, ceilings falling in, roof is falling in.
Oh, yeah.
The houses are destroyed. And then there's this one perfect house right in the middle. Mm-hmm. Now,
The
I
one
don't-
who didn't leave.
I don't know anyone who would be driving, even if it's an Airbnb, don't care, who would be driving going, nope. You know what I mean? Like, this is perfect. And we're not talking like 2 or 3 houses and then other one's great. It is like a sea. It is like a suburb
I can't
destroyed except
explain
for one house.
all the others, but like I can, because if you want me to really grasp at straws, if you go and do these apps, these Airbnb apps, all you have to do is log in, and I don't think you really have to log out of the house. So essentially, these people could go missing. And as long as the authorities don't track it down to this house,
But the point is,
where's these cars coming from?
if you were in an Airbnb, if you were supposed to be in an Airbnb and you show up in every other, like, we're not talking 1 or 2 houses. We're talking every house going into it for the last 2 miles is destroyed, like fucking Beirut,
Yeah.
like a war zone. And this one house is fine. Not a snowball's chance in hell would anybody
Who
stay
fixed
there.
the house all this time? Like, who kept
Who's
it
taking
up to
care of
date?
it? Her?
Well, essentially, it went up for sale. The
Justin Long
just
bought
a
it.
Long bought it and just left it as a thing under. Then he has no clue that they were renting it out as an Airbnb.
Or no, that he knew they were renting out as an Airbnb, but he had no idea nobody was staying there.
I
at that
got
time.
the understanding that he had no clue. that, like, it was just being held, because you know how many people have held houses,
Yeah.
especially even here in Kingston.
But the point is, a whole bunch of people who are going to watch you and I talked about it are going to say, you guys are fucking stupid. You didn't get the fucking subtleties of the movie. It's fucking scary.
I want those TikTok comments.
Anybody who finds this movie scary, 1, you're an airhead.
Or likes it at all.
2, the people who like this are woke culture dorks.
Yeah.
Because it's a movie that goes, boys, girls get treated different as boys, and
I wouldn't
and
even say that.
sometimes boys get treated different as girls.
There might be people who, there's some people who want to like a movie just because other people don't.
Fuck yeah, yep.
They're like, I will go to hell and back to
That's right.
scream.
These are the fucking people that are like, you know who's awesome? Fucking Lars von Trier's so awesome. Really? Tell me one Von Trier movie that's good and tell me why it's good. Oh, remember in the movie Antichrist? Yes, I've seen Antichrist. What part of it is good? Remember, there's a part where she chops off his dick with scissors. You're saying that made a good movie? Yeah, but also remember there's a part where remember it comes blood? And you're like,
I don't like how you're portraying people with lisps.
but then that is not telling me why it's a good movie. Now, Melancholia, the only Lars von Trier movie that I can sit through, is adequate. You know, it's got a good story. It's what it deals with. The subject matter is great. The allegory is great. So if someone came up to me and said, you know what, it's great the way that she sees her life fall apart and then just sits there and watches as the other worlds collide. Okay, but if the one argument I've seen so many people argue about with Von Trier is stupid fucking Antichrist and those shitty nymphomaniac movies, just fuck off with those. But my point is, like you said, there's going to be a lot of people that watch Barbarian. They're like, it's so fucking good. It reminds me of Herzog.
Okay, let's go. Let's ruin it for them, because you'd feel more ruined if you watched it like we did.
If you paid
We
money to
felt
see it.
like we got raped
By
Which
a
is
big
actually
demon woman with
pretty
swinging
good.
boobs.
Well, I'd prefer that to what.
See, I
was just
thought-
in the theater. Really?
I thought we were going Evil Dead 2 route, and I started having fun. I was like, oh, yeah, we're going where I want to. When she starts trying to breastfeed Justin Long.
Okay, so
I
we're
was
going
like,
into that, yeah.
Awesome. I want to see more of this.
This is when we feel like it's going to pick up. You actually
Because it's
you
about-
came back on the rails.
Yep. I felt like it was, okay, we don't really know what we're doing, but I was trying to arrive at this fucking Evil Dead Stupidville.
And this lady, this crazy lady with mental health issues,
And no clothes.
she was creepy. The way they portrayed her was creepy. Like
If you watch the movie Wreck, they do it better in Wreck.
they do a lot of jump scares with it, unfortunately. But I was more like this. So, but
You were watching like Vogue.
well, if you notice, there's different things I do when I know there's this. You know when the jump scares are coming.
Oh yeah,
Still
okay.
gonna
So
fuck
here's
me.
what Phil does.
Yeah,
We're watching the movie, and I'm just kind of like,
I was wondering if you
wait
were going
for
to
it.
notice.
And then Phil's like, nope, not watch. Nope, I'm not gonna watch this.
There was, yeah.
And he's like, he's so defiant. You're like, nope, you won't scare me. Nope, not watching it. And then you're like, like that, and I'm like,
Okay, so other things that you should look out for in these times is I'll go like this. I'll go or I would go straight to the drink. I'd just be like, paying attention to the drink can't scare me.
But I always like that the parts where you would jump, and you know what? Some jump scares do get me. I will admit, but the ones in this movie are so predictable that I was just kind of sitting there beside you like this and be like, ah, oh, well, here's that thing.
It's kind of like psyching yourself up because you know it's coming,
And
and then it's like boom.
And when you can get into a good fucking horror movie, and you're all fucking and this is one thing I've always said to anybody who I talk to about movies. When you're watching a good, scary movie and every goddamn nerve in your body is on fire and you are on the edge of your seat, that is the best feeling in the world.
Like Beowulf. I'm just kidding.
Hopefully people caught that and were like, what? But like those are just the best fucking movies. And then you watch something like this and you're like, ugh.
Okay, back to the nipples. Go from there.
I did not enjoy the nipples in this movie.
They were like dirty. See, I'm gonna share something with you.
Oh, God.
In that moment, I'm thinking, you know how people like to escape to the movies, and they kind of like, if I was in that situation, how would I handle it? And it's like, could you handle sucking on these awful, dirty nipples that haven't been washed for ever? And
Imagine how curdled
just
that milk
to save
is.
your life.
Imagine how curdled that milk is. Makes you think.
So we go from there.
I feel like the movie is a statement on abortion.
They start shooting each other.
Sure. I was honestly by that time when I realized it wasn't going to go.
Okay, I have to get you to the end.
But that's what the girls say to me all the time.
Yeah.
But when
Just
I realized
finish.
that it wasn't going to go the Evil Dead route, I kind of checked out. And I was like, all right, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care what happens.
Okay,
Except for
but
the fucking... So the end of this movie when
Yes.
they escape and
Yes.
sure, whatever. They're running down the street and they run into that black dude who's like a homeless dude that still lives there and he stayed there for so long.
He said, "Come see me if you escape again."
The day for night was terrible.
Yeah.
Like I was like, why don't you guys just make it dusk?
This was Sony Carnage levels, but lower.
It was bad. Yeah. And I was like, then they get up, they go to a water tower.
Yeah, I think it was a water. Yeah, it had to be. It was like one of those straight up water towers with the ladders going around it.
Also, who would you? And then Justin Long tries to kill her, and then Lady puts holes in Justin's eyeballs and
Okay,
whatever.
but the physics.
What physics? I'm
Okay,
thrown
so,
off the.
so you're getting thrown off the thing, and then what? No, who
Justin Long decided.
who went first?
I'm going to throw. So he threw the black girl.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the woman creature jumps out and then catches her in midair and then turns over and
it's maybe
smushes her.
2 stories, maybe 3. I'll give it 3.
Yeah. Which means you'll fall for
Somehow,
5 minutes.
Somehow,
You will fall for 5 minutes.
the monster lady creature got below the black chick to soften her fall because it was her baby.
Yep. It makes perfect sense. And then I did like Justin Long comes down. He goes, "You understand why I had to do it right?" The poor black girl's like, huh? What? Like she just got thrown on the fucking ground.
At that point, she could have been raped by Justin Long.
Right?
But he learned his lesson.
That's right. He learned his lesson.
He doesn't want to suck any more horrible, dirty nipples.
Oh, okay, so my question for you is, who is the titular barbarian?
Titular.
Tit.
Of this movie?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be men. Just men.
Okay.
Men in general. Because Justin Long and his anti-wokeness, and then the old dude.
I would argue that the barbarian is the black girl who survives. Because she went through hell and back. She fought her way. She's a girl starting over again. She's going to a job to work under for another woman.
I think you're falling into... I get what you're saying.
Oh, sorry. Now, Phil's just going to go to his computer.
Define
And he's looking up
barbarian.
Woke
I think you're
nipples.
correct.
Woke nipples.
Woke nipples. I'm going to get a whole... a member of a community or tribe not belonging to one of the great civilizations or relating to ancient barbarians. Thank you.
Then I think that might be the fucking lady, the lady and the guy. I think you were right. The lady and the guy that live in the basement.
I believe
people under the stairs.
No, I think at first you would think it's the lady monster, but I think at the end of the day it's Justin Long, or men in general, because the evil bad guys, the lady, the monster lady, is not evil. She was brought up. She was not brought up a certain way. She was a mutant. She was in this environment forever.
Why didn't
was
she have
treated
Wolverine
like trash
claws then, or like fucking Rogue?
No, her power was.
And how come when she
super
didn't pop
strength?
around, she didn't go da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na?
I don't see her as the antagonist.
I think this movie's bullshit, and I don't want to talk about it anymore because it's junk.
So, how much would you rate it?
Easily
Out of 10.
2 out of 10. I will never watch this again. And if
I
anybody
wouldn't-
ever said to me, I think it's great, my opinion of their film opinion goes down.
I give it a 1 out of 10 only because it had a good setup.
Titties.
The dirty nipples. No, it had a good setup. And if you would have taken it from there and kept it going at that route, or if you were to take this movie and chop it up and make it a 20-minute short, you could probably make a pretty good little short.
So don't go see Barbarian, kids.
And what is your line, Rob?
We're sorry that you've been watching Complain. Goodbye, everybody. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na.